And our first question is, your book covers so many topics. Why is it important to have such a resource when dealing with a person with dementia?
Well, no one is born knowing how to care for someone with dementia. And with most of us, we don't even know what to do or recognize what dementia is until it's well into the disease. And by that time, there's not a lot of support tools advertised out there that is really in general knowledge. And what happened with my family and me is I got a phone call from my younger sister. She said that my dad was unconscious on the floor of his living room. And when he woke up a week later in the hospital, he was diagnosed with moderate Alzheimer's disease. So it really caught us off guard. And because we didn't have all the paperwork in place properly, I didn't have the right power of attorney to take him out of the hospital, and they refused to let me take him home. He ended up on a 6-month journey, going from facility to facility, uh, with the dementia without them allowing us to bring him home. And he knew that he was more advanced than what was going on around him, that he could still figure things out. And so he would figure out how to escape. And from each facility, he escaped 5 times because he's a very, very intelligent man. And on the fifth escape, they would eject him. There was one point, or I should let me back up. They were giving him medications to make him more compliant. Each time he would go to a new facility, they give him a different medication, but they never took him off any of the previous medications. So at one point, he actually threatened to kill his roommate because he had a hallucination that his roommate, who was bedridden, was threatening him. And so that landed him in a geriatric psych hospital. And because we, as the family, didn't understand what was going on around us, we got rather aggressive with the people that were caring for him because we didn't understand how hard it was for them. We didn't have any compassion because we had no understanding. And so they refused to tell us where he was sent. And so we ended up spending 4 hours calling every hospital in 3 counties until we found him. And so we had, like I said, a 6-month journey. He ended up going to 5 additional facilities and one more trip to the geriatric psych ward before we could bring him home. So we got a trial by fire in learning how to uh, navigate the medical system, how to navigate the legal system because we had to get the power of attorney. And we shortcutted it. Most people can't get it that fast. 6 months is incredibly quick through the legal system. It's just lucky I am local to where my dad was. People knew him, they felt bad, and they helped him. So it was that part was very helpful. And I can't say that will happen for everybody, but I put every time I failed while I was caregiving, it took the book you're seeing behind me. It took me, that's the 25% that worked because the 75% that went up in flames, that didn't make it into the book. And I covered every single step for every failure I went through. And some of the things I didn't even go through, like elder abuse, but it was an important topic to cover. So there's a lot of things in the book.
That's pretty amazing. And I assume there's a little footnote here for all of us that the time to do those power of attorneys and wills and no recourse paperwork is while you've still got all of your faculties.
Yes. And the other part to that is let's talk about fear, because fear is false evidence appearing real. And people keep putting it off, thinking, oh, this will never happen to me. Thinking that if they put it off, then they can avoid it entirely. And what that does is that ends up with whoever is left behind, whoever is taking care of your legal work later, has to straighten all this out. And if they don't have the legal documents in place, it makes it very, very difficult for your family members or loved ones to carry out your wishes. And if they don't know your
Absolutely.
wishes, they can't honor them.
Absolutely. Very well said.